So I've probably interviewed over 1,000 agents in my real estate career, and I hired over 400 agents into my company in the last 4.5 years. And what I want to show you today are the reasons why these agents join us and also don't join us during that process, okay? This is very important because a lot of broker owners out there, they want to grow, they want to scale. And the way that we grow and scale, the predictable way of doing so is by consistently attracting and recruiting agents into our ecosystem, right? So when we sit down with our clients, and we currently work with 125 clients, part of our modern day brokerage platform program, before we start any type of marketing, before we deploy any of our automations and systems, etc., the first thing is we ask them, what type of an agent do you want to go after, right? What is the ideal agent avatar or profile that you feel like is the best suited for the type of a company that you are and the value proposition that you're offering? Now, in my company, we have 3 ideal agent avatars or profiles, right? IAP 1, Ideal Agent Profile 1, is a producing agent. So IAP 1, guys, is producing agent, someone that is doing 12 plus units per year. That's a producing agent. Now, some of you may call them top producing agents, right? But it's a producing agent. It's someone who's consistently closing transactions, okay? Now, IP2 is someone who may be experienced, seasoned agent, but is struggling. And they're usually inconsistent when it comes to the deals that they close, transactions. So we call them, let's say, inconsistent agents, right? And they usually do less than 12 units, okay? And then we have IAP3, Ideal Agent Profile 3. And these are new agents or newer agents, okay? You can be a newer agent, been in business for 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, doing 0 deals. You're a newer agent, you have no experience, right? But check this out. For every ideal agent profile, okay, we have a different messaging and a different value proposition. And this is very, very important because if you think about it, right? A brand new agent, what does the brand new agent need? They need someone who's going to be basically doing the hand-holding for them, right? They need somebody who's going to be mentoring them, guiding them, supporting them, holding them accountable, essentially helping them with the liftoff of their business, jump-starting their business as fast or as quickly as possible, right? Now, a producing agent probably would not need that type of a help, right? They don't need hand-holding, they don't need mentorship, right? They don't need somebody who's gonna kind of get their business or jumpstart their business because they already have their business going, okay? So for every agent avatar out there, there's going to be a difference when it comes to the value proposition. And by the way, we are then leading with that value proposition. So this way we can attract and connect to those type of agents that will raise their hand, right? And inquire about our company, about our services and what we can offer for them. Ultimately, we want to know what that agent wants, what their needs are, what their aspirations are like, what they're looking for in terms of the short-term, mid-term, as well as long-term goals in their career. I just sat down with an agent this afternoon for lunch, and he's 54 years old. He sells anywhere between 15 to 18 homes per year, and he's been doing it for the past 6 years. And he's doing very well. He makes over $200,000 year over year, but he's hustling. He's working 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. So I asked him, so what is your short-term goal? And he said, my short-term goal is I want to close 20 transactions and I want to do about $250,000, $300,000 a year. Okay, great. What is your midterm goal? Well, you know what? I want to list more homes and I want to have a small team that will do all the buyer side of the business. Great. What is your long-term goal? If you and I were sitting together having lunch 5 years down the road, or let's say 10 years down the road when you're 64 years old, what is your long-term goal? What is your exit strategy? and he didn't have an exit strategy. It's the same thing with the value proposition, right? You may have a brand new agent right now that is looking for mentorship opportunities, but 6 months down the road or 12 months down the road, when that agent is closing more and more deals, he's probably going to be looking for other things in terms of the value proposition that you can offer him as a brokerage. So now I'm going to show you how you can tailor each of these value propositions specifically to the type of an agent that you're looking to bring into your organization. So I want to show you our value propositions that we offer to these type of agents, IP1, IP2, IP3. Now, again, they're not as unique as you may think. You probably have a lot of very similar ones, but I just want you kind of see how we all tie this into one beautiful package, if you will, right? And what makes it different from, let's say, just offering everything under the moon or under the sun to the agent, and it's not really resonating or connecting with them, okay? So I'm gonna start, let's say, with the support piece, right? Because again, support is very important, right? But what is support? Like, is it broker support? All right. Is it office support? Right? Is it mentorship? Right? All of them are important, right? It can be also support when it comes to, like, for example, in our company, we have an in-house marketing team. We have an in-house media team. We have a transaction coordinator that helps with our agents' files, right? So that can be marketing support with branding, TC, transaction coordinator, media with the video, right? All of that is support, right? But you have to be very detailed in terms of what does the support for your organization look like and what's actually included part of that support. Because you can say one thing, hey, you know what, we have the best support, or we have exceptional support, you know, or our broker gets back within 10 minutes or 15 minutes, or we have all of these communication channels in place. But they may be looking for something more than just the best support. Be very granular, be very detailed when it comes to your value proposition, okay? The second thing, let's say, for example, it is income drivers. Income drivers means lead gen, right? So lead gen, deal flow, right? If you sit down with most of the agents, especially those agents that are having, you know, difficulty in closing deals on a consistent basis, even top producing agents or brand new agents, probably one of the things that they're going to be looking for are leads. Most of the time, agents are looking for leads. You know, the biggest thing, I think, the biggest carrot out there when you're talking to the agents is like, hey, if I can just close more transactions, meaning if I just make more money, I'm happy. But everything starts with the leads, generating those leads, right? So the income driver one probably would be the lead flow. All right, the next thing probably would be like the compensation, right? So commissions, fees, right? That's also income driver, right? Because, you know, you can do a 70-30 split with that agent and he's parting away with 30% of his commission, or it can be as little as a $300 or $400 transaction fee and there's no split at all. That's an additional income that is coming into the agent's pocket. Another thing can be, for instance, the residual income. The residual income in the form of revenue share, profit share, ownership, partnerships in JVs, mortgage, title, insurance, and etc. That's a residual, or in some cases can be even passive, right? That's another thing that, let's say, some of the agents are looking for. It's one of the reasons why they would join your organization. So the next thing, let's say, the agents are looking for is the leadership, right? So the leadership is very important. We're all leaders, broker owners, team owners, we lead, okay? Our job, our number one job, is to make sure that we are creating an environment and facilitating the environment where those agents, first and foremost, feel like they belong. They're part of community, they're part of the tribe, they're part of the family, they're part of the team. But also they have the tools and they have the resources and they have the environment to actually like flourish, right? To grow their business. So again, part of the leadership is going to be culture, right? Core values. Okay. Recognition of agent achievements, right? And obviously, very important, positive, high energy environment. That's part of leadership, okay? The next thing on that list, let's say it's education. Education is big. We want to make sure that our agents are educated and have the skills that is necessary, that is required to go out there and compete. So part of the education, for instance, you can have mentorship. We mentioned that mentorship here, but that's education as well. Life training, coaching, as well as on-demand training, right? On-demand training. And again, you can have many other things there. You can have masterminds, you can have monthly trading, CE classes. There are many different things that you can do. But again, it's part of the education, all right? And the final thing that I want to mention are the tools, okay? The tools are, let's say it's tech tools, so tech, CRM, automations, all right, marketing collateral, like listing kit, buyer kit, right? Other CRMs like transaction management. Okay, these are all tools. And again, most of the brokers out there have all of that. Okay, great. So now we established our ideal agent profiles, 1, 2, and 3. We established our value proposition to these agents. The next thing that we're going to do is, before we start actually presenting the offers or creating any type of marketing that's going to go out there to attract those agents, all right, now we have to identify what does, for example, IAP1 looking for in a brokerage? That's a good question. What does IAP2 looking for in a brokerage? And what does IAP3 is looking in a brokerage? Okay, I'm going to start with IAP3. IAP3 is a brand new agent, again, with no experience. Now, this is just for me working with IAP3s, with the brand new agents. Here's what they're looking for. Most of them were trying to get their business off the ground as quickly as possible. Most of them really haven't really learned that much in school. In our state, we're in the state of Arizona, it's only 90 hours of schooling. Okay, so they don't really teach you that much about selling real estate. So one of the things that we lead with when it comes to our offer or value proposition to the brand new agent is support, but more specifically, mentorship. Okay, so what we tell our brand new agents, like, hey, you know what? We understand how important it is for you to really get your business going, jumpstart your business. The liftoff is not going to be easy. It's going to be hard. You have to be committed to it. You got to be focused to it, right? You have to be coachable. Are you okay with all of those things? Are you going to do all these things? Yeah, absolutely. Great. So we're going to assign you to a mentor. We're going to partner you up with a mentor. And for the first 6 transactions, you're going to be working with this mentor. And that mentor is going to be answering your questions. That mentor is going to hold group trainings on a weekly basis. You can shadow that mentor, right? And for the first 6 deals, that mentor is going to be by your side. That's a huge value proposition. That's a big value proposition. We want to make sure that you get your business off the ground as quickly as possible. And because of that, if you just look at our KPIs, when we instituted the mentorship program about 2 years ago, our success rate for the brand new agents doubled. doubled. We also, by the way, when it comes to the brand new agents, became much more selective in terms of who we bring on. If, let's say, for example, they're part-time, kind of do this on a side thing, they have a full-time job, not really committed to it, we don't bring them, right? So we don't hire them. We kind of, send them to another brokerage here in town or brokerages in town. But if you're serious about, the business, if you're committed, if you're coachable, if you really wanted to go out there and get that business consistently, we're going to bring you in. We're going to coach you up. We're going to have a mentor there that's going to guide you, that's going to support you. They're going to be teaching you, hold you accountable, and the likelihood of you succeeding is pretty good, okay? So mentorship is a big one. The next one I would just say is the lead flow, okay? So we have probably about 18,000 leads in our database. So from day one, these agents have access to the leads that they can work. Now, they still got to work those leads, right? Leads have to be worked. If those leads don't work, typically it's because you're not really working them. But we're going to equip them with the information, with the tools, with the scripts, with the dialogues. We're going to role play with them, and we are expecting them to work those leads, as soon as they get on board, okay? That's a value proposition. The next thing I would say on that list would be the education piece of it. Now, in addition to the mentorship and the leads, they're also getting live trainings on the weekly basis. Now, if they, for some reason, cannot attend these live trainings, which happens, right? We also have on-demand courses that are available that they can plug in 24/7 and get access to everything else that we're doing, because we record 99% of our trainings, right? So education, okay, mentorship, and lead flow, these are the three core values that we are presenting to the brand new agents. So if you look at our ads on social media, if you look at our ads on the job boards, if you look at our emails that we're sending out to the individuals that are currently in real estate school or just got licensed, these are the three value propositions that we're constantly leaning on when it comes to the brand new agents. Let's now continue with IAP2. IAP2, again, experienced agents, seasoned agents, but inconsistent when it comes to their business, right? Less than 12 transactions a year. Again, typically they're going to be in a range of 2, 3 to possibly 7 or 8 transactions, somewhere there. Most of the time they want to have more consistency in their business. In other words, they want to close more deals. Well, the biggest reason why they're not closing more deals is because of the lack of leads. Okay, so a lot of times, and I meet agents pretty much on a daily basis, most of the time they are struggling is because they just do not have enough leads coming in. Okay, so the biggest carrot, if you will, or brick in this case, is the leads or the lead flow. Okay, so if your organization, whether you're running a brokerage or you're running a team, if you have a consistent way of, let's say, generating buyer leads, or you're generating seller leads or investor leads, you can lead with that and probably attract a lot of these agents, especially right now in 2024 or even 2023, the things were happening, and probably for foreseeable future, the leads are always going to be something that most of the agents, inexperienced agents, going to have to really focus on, right, in order for them to close more deals. I would say the second thing on the list would be the support, right? In support, it's typically going to be like a broker support, right? As well as like marketing support or digital support. Marketing is a big thing. Again, they want to market themselves. They don't know how. They want to brand themselves. They don't know how. A lot of times there's so much information out there, but again, they really don't know how. They don't have the bandwidth. They don't have the capacity. They tried it in the past, couldn't really do that much about it. So we have the in-house marketing team in place that can help them with that as well. The third thing I would say probably on the list would be things such as commissions, right? So commissions and fees, right? Commissions and fees are very important. And I think in our situation with commissions and fees, we have like 3 different packages that are available. We have a package that is a flat fee. You just pay $500 per transaction. We have a package that's $85.15, but it also includes the revenue share, 7 levels deep. And then we also have a package for the teams which is a flat monthly fee with a limited number of transactions, but also teams have a revenue share plan as well that they can sign up for. I'm a huge believer in giving options to the agents, not just having one, right? But again, that's something that they definitely can look at and say, well, you know what? I'm coming from a brokerage right now that is doing 70-30 split, right? I'm going to join you at 85-15. That means that automatically I'm getting an additional 15% when it comes to my commission. And the final thing I would say when it comes to the IEP2 would be probably life training or coaching, something along those lines, right? So again, they want to develop their skills. They want to get better at going out there and working with the sellers, now working with the buyers and getting those buyer-broker agreements in place. We want to make sure that they have all of those tools in place so they can go out there and compete and get that business. So I would say probably education is another big one. So if we want to be attracting these type of agents, I think you want to definitely lead with these value proposition, the leads, okay, the support, right, regardless what it is, whether it's a broker support or it's a marketing support, right, branding or media support, and then of course the education piece to it. Now, it doesn't mean they don't value the culture, core values, residual income and all of that stuff. All of those things are in play, and all of those things that you have available as tools in your toolbox, and you can have that conversation with them during your discovery stages with them, right? But again, this is something that worked for us in the past 4.5 years. Most of the time, it comes back to the leads, comes back to the support, and comes back to the education piece of it. And finally, we're going to talk about the IAP1. All right, IAP1, producing agent, that's the type of an agent that we all want to have in our company. We're striving to either bring those agents on board or develop or retain these agents within our company, right? These are agents that are consistent the most. These are the agents that are closing 12 plus transactions a year. So from my experience, and this is going back to my story about this agent that I had a lunch with a couple hours ago, is the fact that he was looking for 3 things. Number one, he wanted to continue to increase his business more on the listing side of things, right? So we talked about the lead strategies when it comes to the sellers, and we have an in-house marketing team that will help him to do that. So really leads was the biggest thing for him, not per se buyer leads, but more seller leads. That's where he wants to diversify his business. The second thing that he was looking for is an exceptional support. For him, having a broker support is a must, right? Especially in this environment that we're currently in. A lot of new forms, a lot of information, some was misinformation, right? There's a lot of things going on. So he wanted to make sure that his broker had his back, all right? So that's a broker support right there. And the third piece is the leadership piece, right? Leadership, not only in terms of me being that leader for him, but also the culture, the core values, recognizing his achievements, and giving him the platform to shine. And the fourth piece, the one that he was really, really intrigued about, is the residual income. And the residual income, that's with a revenue share, with the partnership and the mortgage as entitled as well. So here's the deal, guys. You may not have all of these value propositions, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But I know you have yours, okay? And they don't have to be exactly the same thing that we have here. But the fact that now you know that you want to create or identify your ideal agent profiles and then tie the value propositions to each profile is probably something that you definitely want to do, right? To guide you and take your business to the next level when it comes to attracting and recruiting more agents. Now, we got a gift for you guys. We actually have this worksheet that we share with our clients. It's called IAP Analysis Sheet. And I believe it should be in the show notes as one of the links. It's free. If you want it, check it out. And if you enjoyed this content, hit the thumbs up button or subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.